ready? Okay, hi Mike. It's Jim. I want to go through the different areas that I mentioned to you on the phone to see if we can even see them on the camera. One of the things I noticed was there was a buff line, and if you get right up on it, it goes from here down here, but you can barely see it. And Alonzo thinks it's just a matter of just buffing. I mean, it's very faint. It looked worse before I started wiping it because of the pollen, but
I don't see it.
Well, like I said, it's very faint. But when I first came out, it looked more prominent. But it's there.
A buff line as in a scratch? Or
well, I guess it's like I would say it's probably in the coat. As opposed to, it's not like a paint scratch. It's probably
are you talking about like right here?
Like a clear coat, right here. See
right
this?
Here? Okay.
So
there's an extremely fine line.
Yeah,
there.
I'm saying it's probably in the coat, the clear coat, as opposed to the actual paint.
You know, we're like a mirror image in this paint. I don't think he's even going to be able to see it.
Well, anyway,
I can't see it unless I get really, really close.
The other thing was there's a little imperfection in the I was telling him right here on the tint. I was trying to tell him it kind of dips in a little bit, and there's a little bit of a scratch. It's potentially could get worse. I don't know if it was like something scraped against it and kind of, but there's a little tiny little cut right there. So I suppose if something were to pull on it, it would make it worse. But it's just a little dip. Other places in the tint in good shape.
Okay.
I mentioned to him after the email that after I talked to him on the phone, I noticed a couple little spots on the hood. So there's the detail guy. They're basically chips from rocks. So there's two right there.
Those are rock chips.
Maybe one up here, and one over here. There's one right here. There's one right here. So if you look around, there's going to be a few here and there of minor rock chips. You can't see them unless you get up on it. There's one little imperfection right here that I mentioned to him on the phone. But the underside is good. It hasn't been scraped by going on top of a parking block or anything like that. This is the rim scuff that Alonzo said he thinks it can be resurfaced for $50. He thinks. And then it's got a little, we need to get a word on this from the shop and make sure that that's not a problem. I don't think it is, because I think there's extra rubber right here because it lips out. If it was actually the sidewall, this would be a problem.
Right.
But I think it's okay, but we'll get a mechanic opinion on whether or not this is a problem or not. But there's a little cut. But every other rim is in good condition. And then we gotta go look at the rug. Oh, I mentioned to him that the one spot that a leather is going to start getting kind of wrinkly is the outside of the driver's seat. And so there's no cuts, but it is starting to get wrinkly.
Yep, I see that.
Okay, but there's no, like I said, cuts or tears or anything like that, or even starting to cut or tear. It's just getting wrinkly.
I noticed something on the outside of this door.
Okay.
But I want to show a little more interior before I go to it. Let's see. Right here. That's it.
Yeah, okay, so that's a little... Yep.
These things look, I think they look much more major up close than they do.
Well, I told him
when you look at the car in general, it doesn't...
You have to literally get your face right up to it.
Right.
Okay, so there's two more things. Actually three, but I don't think this is going to show up. It didn't show up on the camera, so I don't think it's going to show up on the video. But there's just kind of like, I call them buff marks. It looks like, you know,
like up there,
streaking almost. Like if you did a window and it didn't quite get clear, and you can't see unless you're right up against it.
I see right there. So if I can see it, maybe he can see it in the camera.
Maybe, but I think if we get it buffed, you probably wouldn't even see it. And we've done that before with vehicles.
This isn't a chip. It looks like maybe a little spot of sap or something. There, it's coming off. Yeah. I don't think that's a permanent mark. Good. It's got pollen all over it.
Yeah, it's got pollen. The rug, if you look in there, you'll see where the rug's pulling out a little bit.
Yes, I see that.
Talk to Betsy about you calling dealer.com.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And then I mentioned to him these tiny little that I think just needs to be touched up. So if you can see it, yeah, right there.
Yeah, that's a tiny little chip.
Yeah, if you touched it up, you'd never even
I think you can see that, yeah.
see it. Other than that, the car is in excellent condition, and it's never been in an accident.
It's a
Just needs to be
beautiful,
cleaned
beautiful car.
Yeah.
Well, we have cleaned it up, but these tiny little marks are not something we'd normally go around putting paint all over it. We would wait for something a little more substantial to dab some touch-up paint on it. But I think if that's what he would like us to do after he gets here, we could do it. But the wheels are in good condition, and the car is in excellent condition. It's got some pollen on it. It's the area that we're in. Did you pop the trunk?
Yeah.
Do you want to lift it up and show him the spare? There we go. Very nice. All right. Okay.
I checked the folder, and the tires are at about 30 seconds, so about half. And the brakes are 50 to 60%.
Okay. I'll go around and show each wheel real quick since we've shown two. Can you open that door one more time?
Sure.
Okay, is there anything else you can think of?
No, I think that's the disclosure, hopefully, that you need. If you need more, we'll do more. If you want us to comb over every piece of the rug, we can do that.
What's our plan with this rug? We were going to try and reinsert that ourselves, right?
Yeah, try and take off the molding, the plastic, pop it back in, and put the.
Right.
Somehow it just got.
I'm sure we
out.
can do that. I'm sure we can do that. The
So,
wheel, I don't think the wheel is $50. I think it's more, and I'm not sure our wheel guy does this kind of wheels.
Okay.
I can ask him.
He said something about heating up. You heat it up and you buff it.
I don't know. I don't know about that, and I'm in charge of that stuff. So.
Okay.
All right. Well.
All right.